Gentry, being a working mom is very challenging. But this responsibility not only made her a better mother, but also a better leader. So good morning, Alex. Welcome to the show called Self-Made.
Good morning, Rebecca. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure watching you and your husband working together. So what made you? Can you share with us your childhood?
Ever since I was a child, I've been very conscientious, very responsible. My mom was very high up in her job, so it was, I think, a big part of my childhood was really seeing my parents succeed in their careers and in what they do. So yeah, that probably left a big impression on me.
So what you really want to be when you were a child?
I honestly wanted to be either an astronaut or a pilot.
Now, what made you from an astronaut to the space and then into running your own business?
Well, actually, more than anything, it's a fascination with technology. So in university, I actually started out in computer science in UP. I was in computer science for maybe 2 years, but after my first sem of knowing how much math there was, I decided, oh my gosh, I'm not going to continue this. No. So I just took a lot of random classes and then ended up in broadcast communication. Having graduated broadcast communications, which is a mass comm course in UP.
How you met your husband first?
Okay. How did that? He would say that it was in his 26th birthday party, but really it wasn't. It was just some random party that was fairly big. It was at a rooftop party, and he was introduced to me by one of his childhood friends, actually, who was then dating a high school friend of mine, and that's how we met. And yeah, that's how it happened. That night, he actually spilled beer, a whole cup of beer, on my feet, and so I was like, I don't know.
He did it in purpose?
I don't know. I was like, I don't know about this guy, but since then it's been fun. Yeah.
Is Patrick your ideal man?
Rebecca. But I want to say it kind of sounds cheesy, but he fits the bill, I think.
Oh wow, Patrick!
Yeah, he really fits the bill. I mean, like for me, a big part of being in a relationship is really being able to talk, like just talk, out without restrictions, without anything, and that is something that we do a lot of, and we really enjoy. Just really sharing our ideas and talking about anything under the sun. Yeah.
But what happened marrying with different culture? What's the differences that you're able to really manage?
Yeah, I think that in a lot of ways, Patrick and I are very, very similar. I know that there are some cultural differences, and I think that maybe with other couples, it's more stark than it is with other couples. So with us, I almost don't see it. I almost don't see him as white, as American, and I almost don't see that. It's really, our values are very, very similar, and I think that's what makes us click more than anything.
How that really clicks in you?
They're so tight-knit as a family. It's not your traditional American family. Actually, the way maybe Patrick was raised is very, very similar to how the Filipino families are raised, where it's very tight-knit, a lot of value on quality time as a family. So I think that played a very big role.
So they're very family-oriented,
very,
like us.
Very family-oriented. Yes,
so when you start your business, you already have kids, married?
We had Colin,
okay.
which was our firstborn, and I think that it was really around that time when we had Colin that Patrick really started to feel the itch of what am I gonna do, what legacy am I gonna leave. So when he was spinning it off, there was a lot of work that needed to be done in the software. And so he started bringing home a lot of work home to me because that was my passion.
Yeah.
I loved creating. I found myself pregnant and doing mock-ups and sketches for software interface every night. Yeah, so when Sprout was just starting, I was pregnant with Blake, and we decided that if I was ever gonna take time off as to be a full-time mom
Yes.
and a full-time a full-time
Yeah.
wife, this was the time. So I actually decided to resign from Superium. It was very hard because I really loved my job. And so I said, okay, this is the time. This is the time we're gonna be full-time, just mommy and wifey. And then after a few weeks, Pat's like, so can you help me with this? What do you think am I gonna do? How are we gonna change the interface of the software? And so on the side, I was really helping him out. And then after I gave birth, it just came very, very naturally. Even if we know the risks of a husband and wife, founders, we thought that the benefits of us really working together would outweigh that, and it's been great so far. It's been 2.5 years, and we've been having a blast.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's your
Of
biggest
course.
fear so far?
I don't know if it's like a really deep-seated fear, but I do fear that I'm spending so little time with my kids that I'm not influencing them enough. I read somewhere that the way to look at it is work-life integration, wherein, if you spend time on your work, you're really developing yourself as a fuller version of yourself, and you take that version of yourself home. I honestly think that being a mom has made me a better manager.
How proud are you as a working mom Filipina?
Very, very. I think that we need to work, not just for the monetary benefits, but also for fulfillment. And I think that the privilege of being a mother and the privilege of being surrounded by a great team is something that I am very grateful for every day. And I think that's very telling. I think if we lived our life in a position of gratefulness, then we would always be proud.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Every success has its struggles. Every dream has its trials and tests. Listen to their stories, because if they did it, you can also be called self-made.